Alright, welcome back guys for those who have been watching the series videos, and welcome to the new joiners. And in today's video we're going to talk about how I've become the most interesting person in the room. Very interesting, isn't it? Well, very interesting among others. But let's give it a little bit of a context over here. And I want you to understand the evolution of my thinking throughout this time, to really give you a deep understanding of what is really happening, you know? So back in the days, I was overweight. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't working out. You name it. I was a gamer. Anything that was contributing for my personal growth was not there. And I really understood very, very quick that people don't walk around this world with x-rays to see if I have a good heart or if I have a good personality. I shit you not, my friend, is that sometimes I was going out with some friends and a group of girls would come and say hi to my friends and they jumped me. I was there and they were not even saying hi to me. Not even shake my hand or ask me questions or whatsoever. I was like, shit, man, I'm really invisible to these people. I'm really invisible. And I've noticed that I had no friends because the friend that I was at that time left me as well. And I ended up being by myself, and I was asking myself, like, what is wrong with this world? What is wrong with this? Well, it all changed by asking me by when my dad asked me this question. What makes you think that people would like to have a conversation with you? Ask yourself this question. If you're not healthy, if you're not eating well, if you're not working out, if you're not dressing well, what makes you think that people are going to approach somebody like that so they can learn? And you have to understand the reality of this world is that this world people are very judgmental. And you're one of them, and I'm one of them myself, because we judge a lot from the physical appearance, because the first impression is the most important impression. Because this is basically the trigger that's gonna engage for another conversation in the future, or another meeting in the future. And if the first impression is not the best, well, unfortunately, there's not gonna be any future with that. So the presenting yourself in the beginning is very, very important. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you dress, the way you smell, and the way you keep your eye contact. If you're talking right, if I'm making a video and then I'm talking to you about something very insightful, but I'm not looking you straight in the eyes, you're gonna feel like this person is not very confident and doesn't necessarily know what they are doing. So all of these little elements that I've mentioned to you so far kind of really attributes to the fact that playing the victim mentality. If right now you're gonna start blaming others because they don't want to talk to you, because they don't want to be friends with you, it's really the wrong path. And that's what I was doing back in the day. So I fully isolated myself completely to a point like I had really literally nobody, even nobody. It's like everybody's having their life, and I was just there sitting, being passive. And for me, I had to do something. I had to do something. And that's where I start to go to the gym and I start working out. And then I start taking care of myself, because you have to understand something over here is that you have, if you take care of yourself, you're taking care of the others. And more you get better by taking care of yourself, more is gonna initiate more conversations with other people in the future, because people are gonna be more interested in you. For example, when I go for dinner with my friends or go to these fancy restaurants, I could eat whatever I want to eat. I could allow myself to eat whatever I want to eat, because it's not a cheat meal, it's a rewarding meal. Because throughout the whole week, I was working my ass off, I was eating properly, working out, hydrating properly, to be in a position for me to allow myself to eat this sort of stuff. And the most asked question is that, is you eat like this and you fit? Well, yeah. Well, I'm not eating like this every single day. Duh. That's simple science. You're not gonna gain 5 kilograms because you ate a brownie or where you ate an ice cream. It doesn't work like that. So for me, I really understood very quick that actually the way you present yourself really do matter. And we have to understand the human psychology here is that people walk around this world seeking for other people to add value to their life. We're all selfish in a way, but more you give, more you're gonna get. And the healthiest relationship you can find out there is when you give and the other person give, so you can both learn from each other. And that's the best thing that you can find. And that's the healthiest relationship you can find. And but throughout time, more I got older, I did definitely get fit. So I was becoming more fitter, and it was triggering conversation with others because I was inspiring others to start to go to the gym and work out as well. And for me, that actually was a good trigger for a conversation to start with people. So I would start talking to people, meeting people, even in the gym. I was building a circle and so on. But then I've noticed that most of these people are not staying too long with me. And I noticed that actually it's still I'm still lonely and I'm still isolated. Before, the only difference is that now they're saying hi to me, but they do not wish to carry on the conversation with me because I wasn't that interesting. I said, "Okay, man, I'm not that interesting. That means I need to learn stuff. I need to learn how to communicate." And when you need to communicate, you need to have a decent level of understanding of the language, of things, of experience in life, politics, religion, you name it. But being a good communicator is good, but being educated is even better for me, because the more you know, the better it is. The better you're gonna have a very fruitful conversation with people for regarding business, regarding real estate, regarding many sorts of field. And a good communicator is also somebody that is a good listener. If you are communicating with people and you're not listening to what they are saying, it's not gonna, you're not gonna learn a lot, because all you're doing is you're just thinking about what you're going to say instead of listening to the information that they are giving you. And for me, I was a yeah, I was a very curious person. I was always curious to go approach everybody to say like, "Hey man, I'm really inspired about what you're doing. Can you tell me what you're doing to be in this position? And oh, can you give me your opinion about this? Oh, can you give me your opinion about that?" So for me, I was always like that, and that's why you have to be curious, especially when you're in your young age. You have to experiment and you have to try stuff, and you have to learn some new skills. What I mean learning new skills, it can be simple things like playing guitar, acting, singing, cooking. Something that you can engage a conversation with. And also, this is what basically most women like as well. And women like to have people that have like to have a man that is very diverse and very ambitious, that has a lot to say. You know, oh, he plays guitar. There is always something that you're gonna trigger a conversation with it. And for me, it played a major role. So I was like, okay, I see all of this. You know what? I'm not gonna take no for an answer, and I'm gonna learn every single thing. What I mean, I've learned every single thing. I've learned how to sing. I've learned how to play guitar. I've learned how to act. I learned how to talk. I learned how to do stand-up comedy. I learned how to do storytelling, public speaking, every single thing. And for me, this simple mindset of being very, very curious really opened a lot of doors to me. Yeah, it really opened a lot of doors to me in a sense that it made me realize that actually I was surrounded by a lot of diversity. People that do business in real estate, people that do e-commerce, people that come from this country or that country, from different religion. I was like, wow, my surrounding is super rich, and for me, this is what it's all about. And we need other people. We need each other, and we need to learn from each other, and we have a lot to learn from each other, because what you have been through is not the same that what I have been through. We might find a lot of similarities between you and I, but still, you have a completely different background, because if you grew up in the States, or you grew up in Australia, or you grew up in the UK, or you grew up in Algeria, or in France, it's completely different. But it's still the same principles and values, but different background. And for me, I was always fascinated. What I mean about fascinated about people is that wherever I go, I'm always seeing people like books. Yeah. Some books you want to open one or two chapters, Habibi, but not you want to close it and throw it. But some books you want to keep reading because you know that this person is gonna bring a lot of value to your life and is gonna add a lot of value. And this is the healthiest sorts of relationship you want to aim for. When you give and they give, so both could go and grow and become better. And one of the other points that I wanted to talk about is being yourself, being authentic. You are who you are. If you're gonna go out there and try to mimic other people's lifestyle, other people's lives, you're basically nobody. And people really spot that very quick. And you have to become yourself. When I mean, if you're an asshole, now I'm not don't mean it like that. I mean, being yourself is something very, very important in today's time. And I think it played a major factor in my life because I said, listen, if it's not gonna bring me a lot of people, but at least it's gonna bring me the right people. But I am an honest man, and I like to be honest. That's why I sleep like a baby. Because when I go to sleep and I put my head on the pillow, I don't overthink about all the conversation that I had because I said what I had to say. So my heart feels at ease. And being authentic really brought me to discover who I am because the journey of discovering who we are, it's something that's gonna last forever. Until the day you die, you never know if you don't try. There's obviously something that you don't want to try because it's obvious, but you never know who you really are unless you have tried to adventure yourself in this different fields. And for me, that played a major role. And I was always myself. So I was myself, but more mature, I would say, because people that know me from the past kind of like understand me who I am today. But you could also predict it, you know. But never change who you are. When I mean change who you are, I mean change your principles and values. What makes you you? Where you come from and who you are. Because especially if you're the type of guy that is traveling all around the world, well, if you're traveling all around, you're exposed to a lot of cultures, a lot of ideas, and you tend to forget yourself pretty quick. So, knowing your core and principles and values are very important because they're the one that's gonna keep persisting in everything that you're gonna be doing in your life. And you see, and all of this started from the simple one thing. This whole personal journey all started from one simple action that I have done that led to this domino effect. And that's working out. That's working out. I really understood is that if I take care of me, I'm taking care of the others because I'm going to be able to provide the others with the best version of myself. And for me, working out changed everything because it changed the way I think. It changed the way I view things. And it changed the way how other people perceive me as well. Because right now, it is definitely a trigger for a new conversation, but it's also a trigger to other conversations because I'm very fruitful in many other fields of in this life. I love singing. I love acting. I love to do business. I love to and for me it was always that little trigger, and it all sort of because I decided to go to the gym, and that's why if you are struggling in your life right now, brother, book a free call with me. We can sit down and talk about how I can help you out to get you to the position that you want to be. But going to the gym really did change a major factor. And that's probably why it made me the most interesting person in the room because I have decided to go outside of my comfort zone. And you know what happens outside of the comfort zone is growth. So stay out of that comfort zone and get to it. I hope you guys watch this video and to the end. That really gives you a little good insight of why it is important to take care of yourself. And the way you present yourself to others does play a major role. So I hope you got it right, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.